In this video, I'm going to show you how to use StatCrunch to find normal probability. So come here to Stat, Calculator, Normal. So again, that's Stat, Calculator, Normal. And it'll bring up a normal distribution probability calculator. So you simply have to enter in the mean of your distribution. So I'm just going to put in 60. And you enter in the standard deviation of your distribution. So I'm going to put in 5. And then here you put in whatever x values of interest that you want to find the probability of. So for example, we'll find the probability that x is less than 50. Compute. StatCrunch then computes the probability 0.022 and it shades the probability in red so you can see it. If you entered in something like, for example, the probability x less than 40 and pressed compute, notice that there's nothing shaded and the probability here is very, very, very tiny because we know that 40 is well over 3 standard deviations away from the mean, and so the probability of this happening is highly unlikely, something very close to 0. So we get a number that's very, very small. And visually, we can see that that works because none of this is shaded in red. If we wanted, for example, the probability of x greater than 45, we can see that that's almost certain to happen, a probability of 0.998, and that's why we see almost the entire region shaded in red. You might wonder why there's only two choices, a less than an equal sign or a greater than or equal sign, when in the binomial calculator there were several more choices for sign. And the reason for that is because, remember, the normal probability distribution is a continuous probability distribution. So for example, the numbers which are greater than or equal to 50 start right to the right of 50. In a binomial probability distribution, which is discrete, it only refers to numbers which are counting numbers. So the first counting number larger than 50 is 51. But in a continuous distribution, it includes all numbers greater than 50. So all numbers greater than 50 start right to the right of 50, and that's why you only have two choices of symbol, a greater than or equal sign or a less than or equal to sign. Just like with the binomial calculator, you can find probabilities between two x values. So for example, if the mean was 60, the standard deviation is 5. Suppose you wanted the probability of an x value between 50 and 55. We just put in our x values of interest and click compute. It shades the region between 50 and 55 and tells us that probability is equal to 0.136.